Yay! Hello, everyone, to this very random video with me and Alex Temblador. We're just here to talk about all of our writing stuff. So, Alex, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Van. My name is Alex Temblador. I am an author of two books. My first was Secrets of the Casa Rosada. It was young adult. Got a few awards. It was pretty exciting. Got published in 2018 by Arte Publico Press. And then July 2022, I published my first in adult fiction called Half Outlaw. It's magical realism published by Blackstone. Actually, both my books are magical realism. It's kind of my thing. Yeah, so that's who I am. I live in Texas and I love writing.
Yay! And I loved Half Outlaw. I love both your books, but like I recently read Half Outlaw and it was just so good, and I was just like heartbroken the whole time. It was so beautiful. So I yeah
Thank you.
I like really I felt so special that I like got the early copy and like got to read it. So it was really enjoyable.
Oh, thank
Yay!
you so much. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I invited you on this video just to like talk about silly things about writing. And this was like born out of this I don't know, just like this depression from like all the stuff that's happening in the world and talking to all these writers who are like, I'm so sad all the time, and it's like I just wanted to like focus on why I love writing and all the stuff that helps me like get back into writing, I guess. So that's where this idea was born from. And I just like wanted to have like a fun video on all of the stuff that helps us find the joy again.
Yeah,
So
because writing's fun, even though like
yeah.
we have a lot on us to tell these stories. It is fun. It's
Hmm.
like we do it because we love this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you watch Dexter, or have you ever watched Dexter?
I have, yes.
Yeah. So like regardless of like what you thought about like the how it the like there was like a reboot season which actually is pretty good. I wasn't disappointed. But I there's like this episode where Dexter hasn't been able to kill anyone in a while. So like if for anyone who hasn't seen the show, it's about a serial killer who goes after other serial killers. But there's this episode where he hasn't been able to kill anyone for a while and he gets like very like anxious and just like stressed out. And like that's me when I haven't written in a while. I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm Dexter. I need to go kill someone.
Yeah, that is so funny. And so me and Van actually have the same literary agent, and like we'll just say that. And I was recently telling our literary agent Mary, I just can't write right now, and I don't like. There were certain things I just couldn't write, and so somebody was telling me just don't write. Like get out of your head about writing. Like you have to do it. Like slow down the machine because yeah, I can get in my head too.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that really helped me get out of that, like very recently, was like just writing a short story, which is like not my usual format. And it was like a short story that I knew I was never like going to submit anywhere or get published or anything because it's like in the same world as my first book. So it was like I never knew, I mean, I knew that I never wanted to pursue it for publication. So like it just allowed me to be like super silly and to like find like the foundation of like what made me want to write in the first place. And it was like really really fun to write. And like I couldn't, like usually whenever I write something I'm like I'm gonna hide this away forever and never show anyone, but with this one I was like, oh, I can't wait to like show it to people, like everyone read this thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Somebody suggested that to me, and I ended up just like reading a random genre that I have not read since I was a kid. Like that
Yeah.
was the way to kind of get myself out of it. But
Yeah.
I should have
Yeah.
written something.
That's great. Yeah. I know usually just like getting out of your box or like your comfort zone is like the best way to like get back into it, I guess.
True, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Okay, so I actually had actual questions for you.
Okay.
But first, what are you reading right now? Or is there like a book that you read recently that you loved?
Yeah, I'm reading three different things right now. So I'm reading The Valley of Shadows by Rudy Ruiz. He's a fantastic Texas author, does magical realism as well. He also read Half Outlaw. So I'm excited to read his brand new book. And I'm also reading the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, my first N.K. Jemisin books. And that's what I haven't read fantasy since I was a kid, or maybe in my early 20s, I was still reading it. So it's been really fun to like dive back into fantasy. And then I'm reading this book called Cult Classic by Sloane Crosley, I think. And it's a weird thing about like this woman runs into every single one of her exes, and the reason why is like some speculative fiction type of thing. That's kind of crazy cool. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like reading them all at different times and like writing too. It's very hard for me to like focus sometimes. And maybe it's
Yeah.
good to like have different things that I'm doing, like making different parts of my brain work. What are you
Hmm.
reading?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what am I reading? As you were like talking, I was like, wait, I didn't think about what I'm reading. Oh, I'm reading several books at the same time too, because like I will have like a book for my computer and then I'll have a book for like my e-reader and then an audiobook or like a physical book. So like they and I can't like switch back and forth between formats when I'm reading that one. Like I can't read that book on different formats. Like it has to stay on that one format, you know? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
get
know
that.
why though. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so this really cute book, it's called a very secret society of irregular witches by Sangu
Ooh, that's
Mandana. It's so cute. Like it's just absolutely adorable. Like as like cute as the title is, like the story is also very, very adorable. And then I
perfect for
just
October.
right? Yeah. And then I'm also, yeah, like usually I'm not super into spooky season, but this year I am for some reason. I don't know. And then I just finished beta reading. So our other agent sister, Kylie Lee Baker, she wrote
Mhm.
an adult horror, and I just finished reading that. So now I'm like scared all the time because like because like her book like had a lot of like hungry ghosts and like Asian mythology, which is like what I grew up with and like try not to think about all my, all the time. And so now I'm like, oh my God, like they're everywhere. So
You're like
like,
turning your light off at night, like, oh my
yeah,
goodness.
I was like very tempted to sleep with the light on, like when I finished that book. It was so freaky in a good
Oh, then
way.
that means it's good. Like she did her job as a horror writer. I like that.
Yeah. 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 I think that's it.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your favorite writing tool? And I'm talking about like actual tools like Scrivener, Alpha Smart. Do you have like a favorite fountain pen that you write with? Or is it just like the
Mm,
not basic because it's like it's not broken, so I fix it, but is it just like your laptop and
yeah, so I'm a laptop girl with Microsoft Word, and I also for my job I get a lot of free journals and like pads and like notebook type of thing. So anytime I'm like researching a book, I will just like pull one off the shelf that is empty or halfway full, and that's where I like start making notes in it. So it's always like these very random journals that have some logo or brand of a hotel or a travel company on the front of them, and a ton of pins that I get also in the same way. So it's just like random pins that I just have stuffed everywhere in my house. Like I have about 5 in my purse and like 20 in a bowl on my desk. So it's like very eccentric and just all over the place. So yeah.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
very like a specific type of,
yeah,
tools and everything. I like having a cup of tea next to me too.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice.
No, but that's great because like you can write anywhere. Like you don't have to you're not like precious about it. And that can be limiting if you are, like if you have to have a certain something or like some sort of ritual, then
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I've also traveled a lot for my work, so I've gotten used to like writing on planes and writing in airports. I really, really like writing in
Yeah.
airports. That's always fun for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
How
it's
about
like
you? Do you have like a set thing that to get you like in the mindset, or do you have to have like a tool next to you?
so I used to write exclusively by hand, and it had to be a very specific notebook, which is like this Nemesine notebook, which like had really nice quality paper, very smooth. And because I wrote with a lot of like fountain pens, it
Mhm.
had to be a specific paper where the ink didn't bleed through, but didn't ghost. And yes, I had to be like very precious about it. And then if I didn't have, so it's like I needed that notebook for that project. And then like if I suddenly
Mhm.
had like some random idea, I couldn't write it in that notebook. Like that notebook was sacred to that project, you know? So either like I had to start,
Oh,
yeah, like either I had to start like a whole new notebook or just like have a random notebook for random thoughts, which I always misplaced, because like I don't know. So that's why I'm like,
yeah.
wow, it must be really nice to like not be like limited by all these like weird anxiety things in my brain.
I,
Yeah.
I was taught like a good lesson when I was probably in junior high. So me and you are like of an age where we remember like we had Word back in the day, but like we were so used to being taught to like write everything by hand, right? I had a notebook and I had two notebooks that I'd written a book in, and I lost one of the notebooks. And it
Oh
was like the first
no.
half of the book. That was like, never, no more. It will go straight into the computer and we'll be saving it in about 10 different places on my email and my drive and another like external drive. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a hard
yeah.
lesson to learn. Like, fortunately, that's never happened to me because I will literally like write the whole book by hand before I even think about typing it. And like I think about that a lot where it's like, oh my God, if you lose this, like this, that's it. Like this is it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lose
Yeah.
it, a fire. Oh my one of my writer, she's a writer too. Her computer died on her and she lost a ton of work. Oh, that's
Yeah.
just like the biggest fear as a
Nightmare.
writer.
Yeah. Biggest nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that so I developed like carpal tunnel in both wrists like a couple months ago. I know it's so sad. Like I've been like struggling with that, but um so now I can't write by hand anymore, which is like I don't know how that has affected my like creativity yet because I
Really?
have like yet to complete a project since that time.
Yeah.
But but now I write, but I always use Google Docs, and you know how like that just saves on the cloud, so I don't have that fear. But like whenever I tell other authors that I write with Google Docs, they're always like how? Like that's horrifying. And I'm like, I don't know. I've always written with Google Docs, so
One of my publishers just told me not to do Google Docs because it
really.
doesn't like translate into their system. So just
Oh,
something to think about. Double check with your publisher.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Because
And they
I
were
mean, like,
like, they can't even translate it to Microsoft Word well. Like the formatting doesn't work.
oh, how strange. That's
Yeah, I
weird.
thought that was weird too. But
Yeah, huh. I've always used it. So, and like, have never been told that it was weird. So I don't know. Maybe they have like a special thing or yeah, but
yeah, it could just be this one publisher for all I know.
yeah, yeah. Okay, next question is, do you have a favorite writing snack?
Like I said, I love having tea next to me. I mean, I like to treat myself to a writing snack. I'm like, oh yeah, I finished like a big part, or I wrote however many words in a day. There's this bakery near my house. It is the best bakery, and they have the best cookies and the best cakes and the best like cannolis and all these treats. So I like to go and treat myself on occasion when I've done something really good with my writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually like I had a cookie the other day that was shaped in a cupcake. So that's
Ooh,
like my vibe.
a cookie shaped in a cupcake. That's really funny.
Yeah, I was like, I want the cupcake. And they were like, oh, I said, wait, I mean the cookie that looks like a cupcake.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. How about
Yeah.
you? Do you like snacking? Do you have a special drink?
No, this sounds weird, but like I can't snack and do something else at the same time. Like if I'm eating, I have to just be like eating, and then I can't even like I know some people like to read and eat at the same time. Like even that doesn't work for me. I don't know. Like I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna focus on the food now, you know? And then
Yeah.
the only thing is that like I have to be like alert. Like I cannot write like half, like in a like sleepy state. So I would always make sure like I have the coffee beforehand. But like even drinking coffee, like
Ah,
I can't drink it during writing because I'll just forget about the coffee or I will forget about the writing. I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah,
Do
I
you
can't really
drink the coffee
multitask.
beforehand?
Yeah, yeah. Like I have to make sure like I drink
Yeah.
it before. Yeah. And like I didn't think this was weird until like I get asked a lot, like, what's your writing snack? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I didn't know people could snack while they do other things. Yeah.
I mean, so I don't snack usually when I'm writing. I'm kind of like you. Like I won't eat, but I can have something
Hmm.
in the drink there because
Yeah.
I actually write right when I wake up and I'm still in that sleepy daisy aspect.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I'll get a tea and just like have the tea there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't like I'm not hungry yet when I just write when I wake up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I always get sleepy when I eat, like no matter what it is. Like I'll have a salad and I'll still feel drowsy. And so
Yes.
I can't. So then I'm like, okay, if I can't write when I'm drowsy, then this has to be like totally separate things. But yeah, anyway, long tangent into my personal issues.
I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
Okay, so this is very random, but like what's your zodiac sign? And you can say the Western one or the Asian one.
I'm an Aries, big, super traditional, stereotypical Aries. And then I think my Asian zodiac is I'm a like horse.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it's a horse. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. How about
That's
you?
so So Western is Capricorn, and I don't
Okay.
really know if I'm a true Capricorn. And whenever I tell people I'm a Capricorn and they're very into like astrology and stuff, they're like, "Oh," so I'm like, "No, I don't want to be the bad signs." I don't know if
I
I'm
don't
really
know a
the
lot of Capricorns, so I can't say
yeah.
any, like I have no preconceived notions about Capricorns.
Yeah, yeah. And then Asian, I'm a dragon, which I am proud of. Like I like
Ooh,
dragons, so I'm like, yeah, I want to be a dragon, but I'm not still sure about the Capricorn part. Yeah.
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Do you listen to anything when you write?
No, not at all. It has to be like quiet in my house.
Yeah.
Um, I was just trying to like write an answer to something to somebody's like email kind of a while ago, and my parents had because I'm here visiting my parents and they had like the TV playing on in the background. And I was like, I can't even write this thing with that TV playing on in the
Yeah.
background. I have to go somewhere else to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
can
you
do like people talking, but that's about it.
yeah. But you can't like plug in earphones and listen to music or anything. It has to be total silence.
No. Can
Yeah.
you do that?
I prefer quiet, and whenever I listen to music, I get very overwhelmed because then I will just be absorbed in whatever the music is. Yeah, even
Yeah.
like instrumentals, I'm like, oh, I want to like I used to listen to like video game music, like not
Okay.
instrumentals, basically without if
But
there's any words at all, then absolutely not. But yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, but like video game music is like supposed to be designed to be listened to while you're thinking. But even then, I'd be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, what is this video game? Like, should I look into it?" Even though I
Yeah.
don't even care. Like, I don't play video games, but like, I would be totally distracted about with that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I
So,
do like listening to music to like inspire and get in the mood of the story.
hmm
So I'll be like, I'll write, and then I like to work out at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I go for a run. So if I want to stay like in the headspace, I'll put on kind of like a playlist that I've made for that book. And it just like keeps me in the mood, keeps me like pumped up or whatever the tone or genre of the book is. So I like that, but I can't do it when I'm writing.
yeah,
Because I will
yeah,
start singing. I'll be like way more into it, like you said.
yeah, yeah. And then I'll like
Do you
want
create
to.
a playlist?
Will create a playlist. If it's like if the story is in a totally different world, that's like not
Mhm.
because I wrote specifically thinking about my last project, which was a historical fantasy, and
Mhm.
it was like set in 1959, and so I like wanted to listen to music in that time period, and so that's like the
Yeah,
only time I've ever created a playlist, but I've like never done it for any other project. Yeah. What about you?
I get that. Yeah, I did it for Half Outlaw. I didn't do it for my first book, but I really liked how it got me like in this because a lot of the songs are like very rock, classic rock. Like you said, my book is also set in like historic times,
Yeah.
1960s to to 1990. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like I want to listen to things that she was listening to, or just like there are some modern songs in my playlist that were very like angry.
hmm
I'm mad as a woman in this world of men type of thing, which really
Yeah.
got me pumped up to write about my character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I definitely got those vibes. So I think that really, that really helped. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay. I'm gonna pick like two more and then we'll
Okay.
start to wrap this up before it gets too long because I can feel like I know that we can like go on and on forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. What is your favorite movie character?
Oh no. I really love like I will say this because this is something I just read or watched recently. I watched the Hocus Pocus 2
Yeah.
and I really like, the three Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus 1. Hocus Pocus 2 was fun and different, but just the classic, those three sisters are like really fun and quirky and bad. They're naughty, they're fun. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love them. I haven't seen the second one, but yeah, I love Hocus Pocus. It's so
Same.
silly.
Yeah, it's just silly and they're just like so fun and like fabulous and singing their hearts out and everything. Yeah.
Oh,
How about you? What comes to mind?
I don't know. Like I came up with all these questions, but I didn't think about answering them. So I really love Spirited Away. Like that's like my favorite movie, and
I don't
I
know
can't
that
say that
one.
she's, huh?
I don't think I know that movie.
Oh, Spirited Away. It's
Uh,
like Studio Ghibli. Hayao Miyazaki is the director behind it. And
Okay.
they basically created like this production company for him because he's very talented, yada yada. But yeah, it's
That's awesome.
like okay, if you most likely if you talk to like an Asian person like in the creative field, like everyone like stands this movie, like it's like the pinnacle of art, like creativity. But the character is like I can't even say that she's my favorite because she's very whiny at first, and then of course she goes through a lot of
Mhm.
changes and then becomes like a much better person. But like yeah, like I think about that character a lot, and then whenever I'm writing like middle grade, especially, I always like
Mhm.
think about that story, So
Oh, I like that.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to add that to my list. I
yeah,
was just like thinking because I almost said besides the Sanderson sisters that I like the Wicked Witch of the West
yeah.
from and I'm like, why do I like a lot of like quote unquote bad women characters? Honestly, because I think like they're just a little bit one-sided, and that's really why I like them.
Yeah.
Like there's something more behind their story than just like what we're getting.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. But also like they're just unapologetically themselves, like
Yeah,
they're gonna be them and there's nothing
yeah,
anyone else can do. Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
true.
Okay, this is gonna be a hard one, but like do you ever
Okay.
think about being in a movie? Like if your life was made into a movie, like do you ever think about who would play you? And if this is too hard, like we can talk about like a book that you wrote. Like who do you think would play your main character?
Yeah, she's a little bit older than me, but I think Michelle Rodriguez and I, like Michelle Rodriguez from like Fast and the Furious, I feel like she's kind of my vibe. So she would play me. I could see her playing me and doing well at it. Um, and also I can actually see her playing my main character of Half Outlaw, Rocky. Like
Yeah.
she's pretty badass and like gritty and cool and like
Yeah, I
just
can
a
picture
cool
that.
Latina. Yeah,
Yeah, I can totally picture that. Yeah, I can totally picture her playing, yeah, Rocky. And you.
yeah.
You're also a badass
She would
character.
thank you. She'd be like my dark side. Like I'm very like nice and bubbly and everything, but I do have that like don't mess like I said, I'm an Aries. I'm like, don't mess with me. I'm like fire type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, now I'm like, who
Yeah.
would play me?
Do you have anybody in mind?
So it's harder for me. I mean, it's harder for people of color to answer this question because like there aren't that
Yeah.
many representatives. And I don't even know her name, but and like okay, like I never really watched the Disney Channel as a kid for some reason. But
Yeah.
in The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, I think there was like an Asian girl, and she might have been like
Yes.
based on I think her name was London. I'm
Yes, yes. And
totally gonna get
she's
butchered for this.
no, no, no. It is. And I've seen her in other movies since then, and like she's come out in some TV shows recently.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, no, she's cool. I don't remember
yeah.
her name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, and then I think she was also in The Social Network, which was like a very old movie now with Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg. Yeah. Yeah, I would like she just plays like that obnoxious but like very high energy sort of character, and like I think she would do well as me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in like a new it's like a magical realism like TV show
Oh.
on Hulu, maybe. I don't know. She's also a new girl. She was like a guest
Oh.
show appearance. I like her. I like her. She
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah.
She's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
All right. I think
Cool.
those are all the questions I had. I know I went through them really fast, but it was really, really fun. So yeah. All right.
This is
I'm
cool to
going,
think about like writing in a fun, quirky way.
yeah,
I
like
appreciate like
writing.
you having me on.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna end this video and thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Writing can be hard. I'm here to obsess over the wholesome, delightful, fulfilling practices, solutions, and tools that I love about crafting stories. I'm Van Hoang, author and librarian. Join me on my journey of joyful writing.